The Vikings take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
Cousins. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
3rd and long for Cousins. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Breon Body Calhoun, a sack coming off the corner blitz.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
And now out comes Houston. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. Look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the...
Lamar Miller, 20, 10, touchdown, Houston. 2 passes now for Deshaun Watson. And the Texans are able to show off their quick strike ability. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy, who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game. And typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early. Probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On 2nd and 9, Cousins. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into...
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. And that is the third sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on third down.
He's coming. He's coming. Double up.
Cousins the thrower. And he's going to go down again. Bradley Roby, the ex-Buckeye, with a corner blitz in the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
He's crossing. He's checking crack.
Leave it, bring up 48.
29 is Mike. Mike 29. Watch the pass.
Hey, wahoo!
They'll indeed go for it. It's Cousins. And it is incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Texans take over an excellent field position. Well, that, my friend, I guess is the definition of a head-scratcher. 4th and long, this stage of the game. What were they doing?
I just have to believe that he looked at the situation, still in the first half, decided there's a time to be aggressive. Now was it, because there's still time to make up for it if things don't go right. Of course, a lot of questions on this one. And look, I don't want to go for it as much as anyone.
But 4th and long?
Yeah, I don't think I would have.
Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson with his third touchdown pass of this first half. And the Texans will add on to their lead. Now, he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
Fairbairn now. And it is now 21-0. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
It's blitzing. There he goes, blitzing.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty.
Hey, we're good, we're good.
29 is Mike. Mike 29.
Five.
29 is Mike. Mike 29.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. The intended receiver was Laquan Treadwell. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Two-jet bomber.
Cousins gives way to Cook. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That second down play nets a -4.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
Rush in, rush in, rush in.
Hey, flipper.
Check,
Bingo. Good route here.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down.
Mike 29.
Black.
Hey,
Wide.
Say.
They'll try and throw for it here. Open here, Adam Thielen. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. Facing a 4th down, they come away with 18 yards and the first down conversion. So the ball moves from their own 41 to the other 41 here for 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And it's caught on the right side at Smith. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Hey, Steve 6.
Mike 29. Oh, here we go. Oh, 29 is a Mike. Mike 29. Let's go, defense. Hey, man up, D. Man up.
Rhino.
Watch out.
They just do get the play off. Now Cousins. Left side caught by Diggs. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 19 yards the pick up there. Move the chains. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver.
Touchdown, Vikings. From 17 yards out, and the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Let's get it together, defense. Let's get it forward.
On first down, Watson. The hook up on the right side of Hopkins. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw is Watson. Being chased out left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's third.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
He finds his target, Fuller. And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. On 1st and 10, Watson. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Again, it's Watson. This will be caught at about the 5. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. 2nd and goal from the 1.
Come on, QB, come on.
Back to throw, Watson. The loop, and it's a touchdown. Deshaun Watson in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans will extend their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. Final 10 seconds of the half as they've got it 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. They come up on 2nd and long. And due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. So they will accept the penalty and move forward.
Let's go, let's go. Let's get some penetration here. Alert 3.
Left side, Cook. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. On 2nd down, Cook. And this one also slow and developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
On the carry, it's Cook. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. It's a gain of just 3, and the offense likely going to yield to the punting unit here on 4th down. To throw is Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Getting the ball is Cook running left. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Cook. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. The defense stiffens to force 4th down following that 1st down gain of 8. Cousins to throw for it on 4th. And he's able to find Diggs. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, Grudge yard gain, and it all works out.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
Got nothing to run.
I think I'm 48.
The first run for the backup, Abdullah. Oh, he's got Amir Abdullah. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Amir Abdullah. 27 yards. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 23. Out of the gun, Watson. It's complete to Hopkins. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the 1st.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Watson on 1st down. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Watson now to throw. Throw left side, taken in by Miller. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They're going for it. It's Watson trying to force it to Hopkins, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line.
Let's go, bullshit.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10.
Switch.
Check 13. Check 13.
Check it.
Hey, Stever. Go ahead. Line out.
Following the interception, Cousins. Oh, he's He's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Great start to the second quarter, better than 30 yards. You're at the point in the game right now where you got to start taking some chances, and that chance paid off.
And it's a good idea to be that aggressive because, truthfully, the defensive guys, they're just playing not to make a mistake. That often means you can make a big play against them.
Now Cousins, incomplete. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the pistol, they run it with Cook.
Jeez.
Cook with a first down and much more. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook, his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown. Bailey got the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The cheeser, man.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their own 22. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Anthony Barr picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
That was damn cheese.
On 1st down, it's Cook. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a game, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Hey, Delta. At the 14-yard line.
On 2nd and 7, Cousins. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And complete right side to Cook. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Cook, and he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Vikings are an extra point away from tying this thing up. A very important extra point there, up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter. So right back to square one, tied at 28 as he kicks it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a 5-yard line. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, but it'll be 2nd down. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again is Watson. Caught left side, Hopkins. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Here's Watson. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Complete.
Oh, my God.
And the Vikings pick up the football. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
First. Go.
Cousins now after the fumble recovery. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side.
Yeah,
he's going to be out of
with
bounds,
his
but
cheese.
not before he takes it inside the 40. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. Cousins now perfect since the 2nd half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. A toss to Cook. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And now defensively they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Pilot, 64, weak. Hey, steamer. Hey, Sue.
On 2nd and 15 now. Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. Give him 32 on the play. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal, looking to take the lead here in the late going. Oh, how about this on 1st and goal? And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here.
36.
Throw left side on target to Thielen. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Toward the pylon, caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. From 10 yards out, and the Vikings have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Bailey, and they will take a 7-point lead. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. So that one will be accepted.
Get ready.
Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Anthony Barr in there to take him down, and the clock will roll. Over the middle, that's caught by Miller. The Texans going to signal for their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 55 seconds remaining in the football game. The Texans on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Right there, 54, right there, 54 Mike. I got it. 54 Mike, 54 Mike. Check, block 54, block 54. Bring it.
Now Watson. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Anthony Barr. Who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon.
Partner, you absolutely cannot take a sack in that situation. Now, it's also 4th down.
Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. Here we go on 4th.